Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and you're here for your free soccer picks for Sunday, August 27th. Well, guys, we have some interesting games in the top five European football leagues on Sunday. In this video, I have 13 free picks for you, and in addition to the 18 from Saturday, that's a huge amount of free winners for you. If you want more free picks, go to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, check it out, guys. And for my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page on the Pickdawgz website, and there you can sign up. Of course, you can use that discount code PICK for any of your purchases and get some additional discount on any of the passes on the website. Let's get this show on the road, guys. We are going to kick it off with the EPL. And the first game we have is between Burnley and Aston Villa. Burnley is the newcomer to the EPL. They haven't won any of their last three games, and they've started the season with a loss to Manchester City 3-0 at home. While Aston Villa on the other side is actually playing in quite good form right now. They're coming off of a 5-0 win against Hibernian in the Conference League, and I don't think that they are worried about a second leg, which means that they will go all out in this game, and I think that they will get another win in the EPL, which will be their second one of the season. When we look at the injury list, Aston Villa is missing a few key players. Emiliano Martinez is listed as questionable, but I think he will be in the starting lineup. Apart from him, there are a bunch of other players who are injured, but Aston Villa still has enough quality and depth to beat the team like Burnley even on the road. So at this price, I simply have to go with Aston Villa on the money line plus 112. I think it's definitely worth the shot. Sheffield United is hosting Manchester City in the next matchup in the EPL, and they have also started the season with a loss to Crystal Palace. Then they lost to Nottingham Forest 2-1, and they are in kind of a bad form right now. They are on a three-game losing streak, and they haven't won any of their last five games against Manchester City. Manchester City, on the other side, is coming off of a nice win against Newcastle 1-0. It was a very good game. It was a well-fought game. And they will definitely be looking for a third win in a row in the EPL. But as we can see, they are huge favorites, which means we have to look for value someplace else. And I decided to go with Holland to score 2+ goals for Manchester City, which is plus 185. He hasn't scored against Newcastle, so he's definitely due for a nice performance. And teams like Sheffield are going to be pretty much his bread and butter this season. So I'm going to go with Holland to score 2+ goals at plus 185. Now, the final game in the EPL is going to be big derby between Newcastle and Liverpool. Now, Newcastle, as I've said, has lost to Manchester City last week 1-0, but they were very solid in that game. They had their chances, they were fighting. Liverpool, on the other side, is still undefeated this season. They're coming off of a win against Bournemouth, which was 3-1 at home, and they also conceded a red card in that one. But I think that that suspension was taken off from McAllister because it should have been a yellow, not a red card, and for that reason, the FA decided uh, uh, to kind of take that suspension away. Now, Newcastle hasn't won any of their last four games against Liverpool, but we know that Liverpool's defense is far from solid, and they have their own problems. So I'm gonna go with goals in this one, and that's over 3 goals at minus 141. The reason I'm not going with both teams to score as well is going to be to kind of remove the volatility out of this game and giving myself a safety net of a push in case we see only 3 goals. So I'm going to go with over 3 at minus 141. Now we are moving on to La Liga, guys, and we have a pretty solid matchup between Villarreal and Barcelona to start the day. Uh, at least in this video with this game, and it is the first game of the day in La Liga as well. 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Villarreal they got a win against Mallorca 1-0, but before that they couldn't beat anyone. They couldn't score goals. And now they're facing Barcelona, who had their own problems in their first two games of the season. They haven't scored against Getafe. It took them like 80 something minutes to score against Cadiz, even though they got a 2-0 win. This is not going to be an easy game for them. Rafinha still suspended because of that red card. Pedri has been listed as injured, and Araujo has been listed as injured. And my logic here is that since we can't really rely on either of these two teams, since they have been so much all over the place, I decided to go for the full value here. So I'm going to take both teams to score and Barcelona to win at plus 255. Villarreal has had their problems against Barcelona. I think that they are good enough to get on the scoreboard, most definitely, but uh, I have to go with a team in a better form, and that is Barcelona. So, Barcelona to win and both teams to score. Valencia is hosting Osasuna in the next matchup, guys, and I'm gonna keep this one very, very simple. Osasuna is playing against Club Brugge in the second leg of the Conference League qualifications next week, and I think that they are more worried about that one than this one. So, with Valencia being in such a good form right now, I'm gonna go with Valencia on the money line, minus 115. I think it's gonna be a tight game, but I think that Valencia will come out on top, especially in the second half when Osasuna decides to maybe rest some of their starters for that Conference League game they have next week. Bilbao and Betis are the final game of the day in La Liga, and I'm gonna keep this one very simple as well. You might have guessed it. I'm gonna go with the cards here in this one. We have seen over 4.5 cards in 6 games in a row between these two teams, and like I always say, these two teams don't really shy away from getting a little bit rougher on the pitch. So over 5.5 cards, minus 117, might even put like half a unit, maybe even a whole unit on the red card possibly in this game, because the chances are it's going to happen. So Athletic Bilbao against Real Betis over 5.5 cards. Now we are on to the Italian Serie A, guys, and the first game we have is between Juventus and Bologna. Juventus has been looking pretty solid, and they have been doing a good job in the preseason, and they started the season with a nice win against Udinese on the road, which was 3-0. While Bologna on the other side has lost to Milan 2-0 at home. Now, Juventus hasn't lost to Bologna in their last 12 games when playing at home, that is, and they are now actually undefeated in their last 5 games overall. Bologna, on the other side, has been a little bit all over the place. They have a couple of injured players. They have lost a few players in the offseason, so I simply have to go with the home team here. But to get a little bit of a better price, I'm going to take Juventus minus one, which is minus 108. And honestly, I think the least we get out of this game is going to be a push. So I'm taking Juventus minus one. Lazio and Genoa are facing off in Rome, and after going 3 games on a losing streak, Lazio will try to bounce back in this game against this very decent Genoa team, the team that did lose to Fiorentina in their season opener 4-1, but they have been scoring goals quite consistently, and I gotta say Lazio has been conceding goals quite consistently. Now, Lazio hasn't lost to Genoa in their last 4 home games, but their current form is an absolute mess, and I have zero confidence in their defense. So I'm going to go with both teams to score in this one, plus 105, rather than taking a side. Honestly, it could go either way, and it could end up in a draw. I decided to go with the both teams to score. Napoli is hosting Sassuolo in the last game of the day is Serie A, and I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Sassuolo coming off of a loss to Atalanta 2-0 at home. They will try to bounce back, but for that to happen, they will need an atomic offense because Sassuolo once again is, no, not Sassuolo, Napoli, sorry, is scoring a decent amount of goals once again, and they usually have a very, very good game against Sassuolo when they are playing at home. Now, Sassuolo hasn't won any of their last 3 games against Napoli. Napoli haven't lost in any of their last 10 games, and they haven't lost in any of their last 10 home games in a row. So it's quite clear why Napoli is such a big favorite here. But once again, we have to look for value somewhere else. And I decided to take Victor Osimhen to have over 1.5 shots on target, which is minus 136. I was originally going to go with him to get a goal at any time, but that is minus 157 or so. So I figured this is the better option, and he usually takes the penalty shots, and he usually is a very, very good guy when it comes to scoring goals and taking chances. So I'm going to take Osimhen over 1.5 shots on target. For our next two pick, guys, we will be in Bundesliga, and the first one we have is between Mainz and Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, the books are favoring Mainz a little bit, even though I'm not sure why, because they are coming off of a horrible loss to Union Berlin 4-1 on the road, while Eintracht Frankfurt has beaten Darmstadt in the Bundesliga opener last week, and they also had a Conference League game against Levski Sofia, which ended in a 1-1 draw earlier this week. Now, Eintracht will definitely try to get in that Conference League, which means that they might be resting some players in this game. But with minds being all over the place as of late, I think that Eintracht has enough to get us the draw here. So I'm gonna go with the draw between these two teams. Could end up in a 1-1 draw, maybe even 2-2 draw, but I think it should be a fairly even matchup, and for that reason, I think we are gonna see the draw in this matchup in Germany. Bayern Munich is hosting Augsburg in the next game, and that's a game at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. And as we can see, Bayern is a massive, massive favorite, minus 1,430. And to find the value in that would require some imagination, and we maybe would need to take some players who usually don't score goals to get goals or assists or something like that. And I do understand why Bayern is such a big favorite, especially because Augsburg hasn't won any of their last four games. They are conceding goals left and right, and yes, they are scoring goals as well. But this is Bayern we are talking about, and I believe that they will be quite a dominant team in this match. So I decided to go with the first half Asian line, and I'm going to take Bayern minus 1.5 in the first half, and it's plus 115. I think we see a goal in the first 10 minutes from Bayern, and then let's just hope they can get us another one by halftime because they will definitely have an ample chances to get on the scoreboard multiple times in the first half alone. So Bayern minus 1.5 in the first half, and that is plus 150. Now we have the last two picks of this video, and that's from the French League One. We have Lorient playing against Lille, and this could be an interesting matchup because we have seen both teams score in this game in the last five matchups between these two teams. The over has hit in the last six matchup between these two sides. We did see some unders, of course, but at the moment both teams are playing decent football. Uh, Lorient undefeated in the last two games. They kept PSG and Nice at bay, while Lille is actually on a two-game winning streak. But they were playing in that Conference League game also earlier this week. They got a 2-1 win out of it, but they have a second leg coming up. So uh, I mean, both teams have some injured players. The depth of both sides have been reduced, but I'm gonna go with both teams to score in this one. Minus 148. Like I said, both teams in decent form. We have seen a lot of goals in the last 5, 6 games in this matchup, so I'm kind of hoping for the same here as well. So Lorient against Lille, both teams to score. And the last pick of this video is between Nice and Lyon, also in the French League One, 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And let's be honest, neither of these two teams is playing well right now. Lyon is on a huge losing streak. They have lost their last six games in a row. Nice, on the other side, hasn't won any of their last five games, but they have lost only two of those five games, and they have been in a slightly better form than Lyon has. But until Lyon gets their defense together, gets their team together, and stuff like that, I simply gonna fade them. And in this one, if only if you have to, guys, I would take Nice on the money line. It's plus 110. Nice at home is a very hard team to beat. I know they haven't been that consistent as of late, but Lyon has been absolutely dumpster fire as of late. And like I said, I'm gonna keep fading them until they get themselves in order. So Nice against Lyon, I'm taking Nice on the money line. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here once again for some free picks from the European soccer, European football, that is, sorry, on Sunday. For more free picks, like I said, go to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, check it out, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys soon with more free picks.